Hello everyone, my name is Val and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I will share some thoughts on how you can use haiku in ESL classes. What is haiku? Haiku is a traditional form of Japanese poetry that consists of 3 lines. The first and third lines are traditionally 5 syllables, and the second line is 7 syllables. Originally, haiku poems were used to capture an image of nature, often focusing on a specific season or time of day. Haiku poems typically present a moment in time and focus on experiences, emotions, or a fleeting feeling. In a way, haiku is similar to ikebana, a Japanese art form that focuses on the arrangements of flowers, stems, and leaves in small vases or other containers. The purpose of haiku and ikebana is to capture the moment, reflect, and appreciate the beauty of nature, express emotions, and practice patience and balance of mind, soul, and heart, and body, I think. Here are a few interesting facts about haiku. 1. Haiku originated in Japan during the 17th century as a popular form of poetry written in the Japanese language. 2. The most famous haiku poet is Matsuo Basho, who lived during the 17th century and is credited with perfecting the form and elevating it to art. 3. In modern haiku, poets often break the 5-7-5 syllable structure, focusing more on capturing a moment or feeling than adhering to strict rules.
Here are a few examples of classic haiku. I'll start with the most famous poem by Matsuo Basho, which has been translated into English more than 100 times. An old, silent pond. A frog jumps into the pond. Splash! Silence again. Over the wintry forest, winds howl in rage, with no leaves to blow. The moment 2 bubbles are united, they both vanish. A lotus blooms. My life, how much more of it remains? The night is brief. Here are some examples of modern haiku. Snow falls, and the whole world changes. Summer rain, a sudden gust of wind scatters petals. Picking strawberries, the quiet conversation of mother and daughter.
I intentionally did not provide the authorship information for the examples of modern haiku here, as modern haiku are often shared anonymously and without the emphasis on the author's identity. It's a lesson in itself, and it's because haiku focuses on the expression of a moment, of experience, and the insight it offers, rather than on the individual person who wrote it.
How to use haiku in ESL classes.
Here are a few things you can try. 1. Introduce vocabulary. Ask your students to create haiku using new vocabulary words they're learning. This can help them to remember the words and practice using them in context. 2. Practice grammar. Haiku's 575 syllable structure can be a fun way to practice counting syllables, which can be helpful for students learning English grammar. 3. Encourage creativity. Assign a particular theme or subject and ask students to write their own haiku. For example, ask them to write a haiku about springtime or their favorite food. 4. Develop observation skills. Haiku poems are all about capturing a brief moment in time. Encourage your students to observe the world around them and write haiku poetry about their observations. This can help them to develop their observation skills and think more deeply about their environment. 5. Collaborative haiku. In pairs or small groups, have students write a haiku together, with each person contributing one line. This can encourage teamwork and collaboration, as well as help students to practice working together to achieve a shared goal.
How to teach haiku in ESL classes.
Here are some steps you can follow to teach haiku in your ESL class. 1. Introduce the concept of haiku. Start by explaining what haiku is and its origins. You can also mention the traditional 575 syllable structure of a haiku. 2. Share examples. Show examples of haiku poems to your students. Choose poems that are easy to understand and illustrate the beauty and simplicity of the form. 3. Discuss the structure. Go over the traditional structure of a haiku and explain how it works. Count syllables together as a class to help students understand the form. Note that some haikus use fewer syllables, and that's okay. And I want to emphasize this point. It's really okay if they do not stick to the original form, but use more syllables in their haikus. It's okay. 4. Explain the concept of an image. Ask your students to tell you what an image is. In real life, we use a camera to take a picture. In haiku, we take a picture with words. Write a few key words on the blackboard. For example, cold, hot, winter. Ask your students to write a short phrase or sentence for each of these words without using them, so they can create an image for these words. Give examples. Cold could be frozen toes and fingers. Hot could be boiling water. And winter could be white silence. 5. Practice writing. Have your students practice writing their own haiku. Start by brainstorming topics such as a favorite food or a memorable experience. List the topics on the board and ask them to write their own poem. This can be done as a 3-student group activity, where each student writes one line for the group haiku. 6. Share and discuss. After your students have written their own haiku, have them share their work with the class. Encourage everyone to retrieve images and discuss what they liked about each other's poems. 7. Experiment and have fun. Haiku is a flexible form, and students should feel free to experiment and try new things. Have them play around with the form, using different structures or experimenting with different seasonal references. By following these steps, you can introduce haiku poetry to your ESL class and help your students develop their language skills and creativity. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel. Also, a big shout out to my patrons, Martina, Peter, and Kieran, whose support is a great motivator for me. Thank you guys. Before I say goodbye, here's my haiku for you. It's called Flower. You grow in silence to make us see the beauty. You give and never take. Thank you. See you next time.